Hey everybody, my name is Billy. I'm with HBi Auto, and today I want to talk to you about something that I thought was an interesting topic. I think it's important because I'm a car guy, I love cars, and if you're watching this channel, you probably love cars. So California decided that they wanted to ban pretty much any vehicle that wasn't zero emissions, i.e. an EV, a hydrogen car by 2035. That's not the best news because if you're like me, as you see these cars back here, these are the cars I love. I get electric cars are super cool, but it doesn't have the sound and the emotion that an ICE, internal combustion engine, provides. So I just want to kind of go over some facts, go over some details in regards to electric vehicles, and just give my thoughts on what I really thought about the whole thing, and just see what you guys think as well. So the steps in this plan is by 2026, 35% of all new cars produced must reach zero emissions in California. So that basically means EVs, hydrogen, and if they come up with some other solution, zero emissions by then, that might fit in that criteria. By 2030, 68% of those cars must meet that requirement in California, and then by 2035, the plan is in full effect. No cars in 2035 can have more than zero emissions. So electric or hydrogen, and if there's some other option that comes up, that'd be amazing. Some details are 15 states are likely to follow suit. New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, and there's more obviously that are probably gonna, attempt to follow in that path. But here's some of the other details that are kind of important. Right now, California has 86,000 charging stations. They have 7.5 million people, and in order to have enough charging stations, they're going to need to have 1.2 million charging stations by 2035 to have enough charging stations, or estimated enough charging stations, to support the load of all these vehicles. That means they have to produce 85,692 charging stations approximately per year from now until 2035 to support the system. That seems unreasonable. It's possible, it's an audacious goal, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So that's an important detail to think about. It also means that the car manufacturers have to find a way to produce the cars. Well, right now, we're coming out of a pandemic, but we still have a shortage of cars. We're still having global supply issues. We have, an ongoing war that's affecting manufacturers like Porsche because a lot of their parts come from Ukraine and whatnot. With the way things are going, we could have another black swan event, manufacturing issues, you name it. So that's a challenge, right? Is not only do we have to have X amount of charging stations, then we have to have the cars, and that's going to be a challenge. In 2021, there was 80 million cars produced worldwide. In 2019, there was approximately 92 million, which is 13% more approximately than 2021. So they have got to get to that level, and then also develop the technology and produce cars that meet this requirement. Now, this is only California as of now, but as you've seen, there's other countries in the world that are shooting for these goals even sooner. That's going to be a challenge. So some of the details about, the electric car concept and why or how these emissions are produced, I wanted to share with you and give you some more data on this, because I personally don't necessarily think that this is the biggest problem we have right now. 27% of greenhouse gas emissions in 2020 were from the transportation industry. Only 16% of that was cars. If every single car sold in 2025 was an EV, by 2040, oil and gas demand would reach 2010 levels of demand, according to Exxon spokesperson Casey Norton. Another point is if every nation achieves its EV goals, it will reduce CO2 emissions by 235 tons. What does that mean? That means that the Celsius worldwide would decrease by 0.0001. That's 1/10,000th of Celsius. So what is the real goal here? Because if we're not really changing demand dramatically for fuel and gas, we're not having but a 16% impact on greenhouse emissions, and that could change because there are more people being born every year and new drivers and whatnot. And then CO2 emissions isn't going to affect global Celsius. What's the goal here? So that's kind of my debate. Is this something coming from a government with a different agenda? Is it a manufacturing agreement where they have some deals going on to generate more revenue for a lithium producer or a cobalt producer? These are kind of important things and questions to ask. What is the true motive of making us get rid of these cars, replace them with electric vehicles? And there is some other details I wanted to share with you. So how does this affect you, first and foremost? Well, California just announced a couple days ago, hey, stop charging your car. We can't support it. Our infrastructure isn't there. So it's very likely that by 2035, if this act actually goes through, you're probably not going to have the ability to charge your car 100% unless some major infrastructure changes happen, which is possible, but unlikely considering they have to produce just under 86,000 charging stations per year, and then they have to have the infrastructure to support that. It also affects your options to buy internal combustion engines in California. You can obviously still buy used cars. For now, they haven't banned that. You're going to be limited, and there's a strong possibility that supply again will be limited. So for now, they haven't made an announcement or any plans to ban selling, pre-owned ICE vehicles, but that could come. You never know. So those are some things to think about, and it could also cause inflation as well, which could hurt the market even more for car buyers, because if California does hold this act and supply doesn't meet demand, there could be a shortage of electric vehicles for people looking to purchase a new car. And as a byproduct, inflation can be worse than it is now in California because there's a lack of cars and more demand, and that's how you get inflation. My thoughts on this are, I'm not a fan of it. I'm all for supporting anything that affects the environment in a positive manner, but there has to be more data and validation to support this objective with banning ICE vehicles. So this possibly could change at some point, and maybe they revise this goal, but if they follow through with it, I think it's going to create more problems for the consumers, markets, and manufacturers, and make it challenging for people to get new cars. Another interesting thing is, in the Democratic National Republic of Congo, China owns 15 out of 19 cobalt mines. They have the largest supply of cobalt in the world, and with other shortages from chips and other supplies come from China, is there a power play here to have the majority control of one of the main ingredients to produce electric vehicles? And could this turn into some sort of political issue down the road if we have another conflict with China? We could potentially lose our ability to build cars. So there's a lot of interesting topics here and things to consider, but hopefully this video provides you some value and gives you some insight on some facts and some opinions here, and hopefully we will see some sort of progress where they can figure out a way to keep the cars we love and enjoy around longer than 2035. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. We're trying to build our channel up to reach more car enthusiasts and provide you guys with value. And if you've got questions, comment below. We'd be happy to answer. Thanks. Have a good day.